A lot of talk was made about the Bills. Can they stop the run? They got kind of gashed by the Indianapolis Colts. Can they stop Lamar Jackson in this Baltimore Ravens running attack? We know what they do in Baltimore. It's very unique, right? It's probably one of the most unique rushing attacks ever. Lamar Jackson and co. had 230 rushing yards against the Tennessee Titans. Against the Buffalo Bills, they had 130 or 150. If it's 150, 150. So they go from 230 against the Titans to 150. What were the keys for Buffalo slowing down this Lamar rushing attack?
Right. So the biggest key what they did was they played way more zone coverage than they have in the past. So typically the Bills play zone coverage about 60% of the time, maybe a 50-50 split. They play zone coverage over 80% of their snaps. So you have all eyes on the quarterback. It takes away any sort of man coverage, running guys downfield, quarterback takes off. So that was a huge adjustment made, and big credit there by defensive coordinator Leslie Frazier and Sean McDermott, but especially Leslie Frazier for that adjustment. Playing exclusively zone, something that Lamar struggles with. Not blitzing too much. They didn't blitz too much, so they're putting 7 guys into coverage, make them throw into those tight windows, and that was and that went a large way into stopping them. And for the most part, I thought they held up pretty good against the pass with Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, and then we go to the passing game for Lamar, and you snapped me this, Kenny. You said this guy can't throw. That's what you said. You want to double down on that on the pod? Explain to everybody why this guy can't throw, because he went 14 to 24 on his passes, 0 touchdowns, 1 interception, has not thrown a single touchdown pass this postseason. He's played in 2 games. One against the Tennessee Titans.
Really, he's played only 1 good half and 6 halves of playoff football. But really only 1 good half, and that was more with his legs in the second half against the Titans last week. But they got him in the perfect spot. They had him in the pocket, in the red zone, where you got to be quick and precise on your throws. And he dropped everyone. And you look at the pass where that Teron Johnson intercepted. He intercepted that pass, and there is no way that pass is going to be completed under any circumstance. So it was just a total breakdown in processing the defense, processing information quickly by Lamar Jackson, and that is the kryptonite that has been used time and time again in losses this year, in 2 playoff games. But it's not only in that, it's something that the Chiefs have done before, something the Steelers have done in their 2 wins against them, or their 1 win against them, is you're dropping guys into coverage in different spots, and that's a lot to go through in your progressions quickly, not only with the pass rush, but you got to make these reads quickly because you're in tight quarters. The defense does not have to be worried about getting beat deep when you're in the red zone, when you're at the 15-yard line. And, they baited him perfectly, and I don't think you saw Teron Johnson underneath. And he tried to throw some pass that Joe Montana couldn't throw under a tight window. And Teron Johnson housed it. And when you got up 2 scores, now Lamar Jackson 1-11 when he falls behind double digits. That was game, set, and match on that 1 throw.
Now, I want to compare Lamar and Josh really quickly because Josh was a guy that was not known as being an accurate guy at Wyoming. Lots of people criticize him. I criticized him coming out of the draft. He completed like 50% of his passes. He had games where I think he would complete like 45% of his passes. Why has Josh been able to improve so much to where he's become one of the elite throwers in this game? And we're seeing Lamar, and I think we can still agree, Lamar's a top 10 to 12 quarterback in the NFL, but he's a top 10 to 12 quarterback not because of his arm, it's because of his legs and how special he is there. Why has his passing game and his game with his arm not developed? Is it coaching or is he just not that good?
Yeah, so I think on two things. One is the scheme that the Ravens set up when they really get ahead. It's based on running the football, and it's based on putting guys in motion to create a numbers advantage. So even if you take a look at the play against the Titans last week, when J.K. Dobbins faked the handoff, J.K. Dobbins becomes a blocker, and you have numbers in the run game. So you take the center, and you take how many blockers are blocking for the Ravens to one side of the center, and how many defenders are there. The Ravens create numbers where they're +1. Now, throwing the football, he's got kind of a three-quarter delivery when he throws it, and that's one thing, along with he's a little erratic throwing when under pressure, where Josh Allen has really cleaned up the mechanics, and he's really cleaned up his just the rhythm of taking the step, put the foot in the ground, you step and throw. He's really cleaned that up to be more on the money with his throws, specifically in that 5 to 15 area. So I just don't think Lamar Jackson has developed enough as a passer, and that's where that comes from. And developing is processing information quickly. So you get the play, you see the defense, and you're throwing the ball in a very ill-advised pass, and you really don't see Josh Allen throwing ill-advised passes, whether it's intercepted or not. And what really helped Josh Allen, too, I think, is how aggressive Brian Dable is on first down. The Bills are the best throwing team on first down. They average, I believe, almost 9 yards an attempt throwing on first down, and they're able to run full offense and be ahead of the sticks or ahead of the chains. And I think those are kind of the keys on how one quarterback is going in one direction and one is kind of going in a negative direction. Now that we've seen them for 3 years now.
Yeah, is Lamar looking like he's plateauing to you?
So I said after that last year that was as good as Lamar is going to be, because having that run-centric offense, and whenever you see guys running wide open, that's not a quarterback throw. I mean, that's a scheme throw. And, you get credit for the touchdown. We don't take that away from you. But there's a lot of guys last year wide open. So I think teams are getting better at how to defend this passing attack. And it's really just the Ravens that almost run like this armed forces triple option offense. And so from that, I would highly doubt that we see Lamar Jackson throw for 36 touchdowns again. So I do think he's kind of plateaued a little bit.